friends, Brian Gailey, Klamath Falls News. Welcome to Ask Klamath. Today, we are actually joined by Josh White, and off camera is Michael Cordner. They're both from Fastbreak, our presenting sponsor here of Ask Klamath. We're going to ask your questions to them in just a moment. But Damien, roll that intro. Friends, welcome back. Ask Klamath here. It's our 12th episode of Season 2, presented by Fastbreak. And in the house, we have Fastbreak. How cool is that? Josh White. Josh, what is your title with Fastbreak?
Well, I don't know if I have an official answer for that, but I guess it would be regional manager and a little bit of everything else.
Regional manager and a little bit of everything else. Off camera is actually Michael. Michael, what would your title be?
You know, we just don't do title. We're not big on titles.
Not big on titles.
I used to do a lot more with marketing, but now I'm behind the scenes monitoring GPs and working on consolidating the price book and supporting the stores.
So if you didn't hear that because he doesn't have a mic, he's a jack of all trades. So he's doing a whole lot of stuff over there. I wouldn't say master of none because I really don't know, but that would be me, jack of all trades, master of none. But Josh, we're happy to have you here. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of stuff, including your questions. Get those in the comments below because somebody is actually going to get a $25 payday rewards card as they have all season, and this guy actually gets to pick who gets it. So you're going to want to get your questions in. A little bit of background, Fastbreak convenience stores, and I'm actually going to read this. This actually comes off of their website, so I'm going to read it here to make sure that we don't screw it up. Fastbreak convenience stores exist to provide products and services in a convenient manner that develop relationships and contributes to the safety and success of their customers, their team members, and their communities. Fastbreak is continually honored and humbled by the growth of the company and their commitment to serve our customers and the communities in which they live. It continues to be their central focus.
Now, we challenge most of our team members to try to memorize that first part. So next time we meet, I'm going to ask you about that.
And I won't have it. I can guarantee it. So welcome. I appreciate you both being here. I think it's awesome that you guys are able to be here, and I appreciate your help in sponsorship with our show, Ask Klamath. We couldn't do this show without you guys, so thank you very much for that.
It's great to be here and great to be a partner with you this season, Brian.
So we are actually going to be taking your questions live during the show. So again, get those questions in. Somebody that asks a live question will get that $25 payday rewards card. But if we don't get your question asked, please don't get upset about it. There's going to be a lot of great questions. We can't get to them all, although this guy would certainly try to.
I'm all for it. I'm game. Bring them on.
Bring it on, he says. So with that, and before we get to our first commercial break, are you ready for some questions?
Sure.
All right.
Go for it.
Well, let's actually talk a little bit about the company itself as a whole. How did it get started?
So kind of a crazy story. There were no convenience stores, and then the fuel division of our company would get a bulk plant or open a bulk plant, and a convenience store would come along with that. And it started out with one which a lot of people around here might familiarize with, the station in Merrill. And then it just organically grew from there. And then we had a small base of stores, and then the team members out in the field started doing a great job with those. And so we started expanding and putting more stores in. Just in the last 2 years, several stores here in Klamath. And we range from all the way south as Corning and Red Bluff, and as far northeast as John Day and Kansas City, Oregon. So it kind of just organically grew with the business of fuel, how a lot of convenience stores started in the fuel business and just having fuel to provide. And now the convenience store side of it is becoming a much bigger deal in the industry and around the country. So the convenience store part of the business grew, and so we grew into our own company separate from the fuel company.
All right. So now you bring up the fuel company. So Fastbreak is a division of a larger company?
You could say that. I kind of look at it as we're all kind of sister companies. We all kind of work together as a team to make each one of them successful. So we're just a group of companies that support each other. Most notably, the Ed Staub and Sons Fuel. You see their trucks delivering fuel to all of our sites, regardless of brand. So we're just a group of companies that works together to make each other successful.
Okay. So how many stores are there altogether? You said it from Corning all the way to John Day. That's quite a range. How many are in there?
You know, for people who live in Eastern Oregon or Klamath Falls, you travel to a lot of our stores. So there's 26 stores in Oregon and 3 in California. And just because it's easy to list, McDowell, California, Red Bluff, and Corning. And then if you're going to Eugene, then you pass through Oak Ridge. We have 2 sites there. Medford, Rogue Valley area as well.
So everything for Fastbreak is underneath the Ed Staub's umbrella, right? It's or you guys got...
I think that's the impression of most of it, but again, I working with those folks at Ed Staub's, I would say they're just part of the team.
Part of the team.
I don't know if it's an umbrella as much as it's a ladder that we're all a part of.
Okay. So at some of the stores, they're all Fastbreak convenience stores, but the fuel may have different brands. How does that work?
So we partner with a lot of different fuel brands as our trucking company, and Ed Staub does as well. So we do partner with Chevron, which is the majority of what you see in Klamath Falls, Shell, Sinclair, Mobil, Fuel Good, and then a few different individual sites as well. So we service whatever the need is in the community that we're serving, and sometimes that's a Shell, sometimes it's a Chevron, sometimes it's both. And then my favorite, the Green Dinosaur and Sinclair's in some locations as well.
I don't know. I agree with you. The Sinclairs are just kind of unique, and I don't know why, but ever since I was a kid, it was like, that was a cool station. Maybe because we didn't have them around here, and when you traveled, you saw them. And now you kind of see them on 97, right?
I think it's the inner child of seeing the Green Dinosaur. And Fastbreak is not part of the one on 97.
Oh, okay.
But definitely a great brand, along with the Chevron and Shell and Mobil. I would purchase personally fuel and have from any of them. But yeah, we partner with them all.
So do all the stores have fuel stations?
No, we do have a station in Cave Junction, Oregon. That's just a convenience store and tobacco store there, so there is no fuel. It really just depends on where we grow and where we end up on what we have.
Okay. Now, more of a personal question.
Sure.
Because you're kind of the regional manager. You said, what is your favorite and least favorite part of your job?
Least favorite part of the job's easy. Anytime you fail. Anytime you drop the ball, whether it's helping a customer or just not having what the customer wants or not being in stock, those accidents happen. And it's the least favorite part of the job because we all want to be perfect. And to be honest, we have team members out there that are just knocking it out of the park every day. And when they have a slip up, it's my least favorite part, not because they did anything wrong, but because they're so great all the time. But it's so much easier to hear about when you have a slip up. My favorite part of the job is really closely related. We have amazing team members, and we really serve some amazing communities. And we'll talk more about that when we talk about community service later, I'm sure. But the people we serve in the small, close-knit communities, we're kind of a dynamic company in that way, that we serve a lot of more rural communities than a lot of other companies, and we embrace that, and we encourage that, and we love having those members of those communities in our company. So my favorite part is just working with the people out there. We have some just rock star team members that we couldn't do it without.
That is cool. That is awesome. And you embracing the rule, that's awesome as well. Do you ever find it difficult when you're being a regional guy? You're probably at all the stores all the time, or at least you try to be. Is it tough to get to some of those outliers, like from here to John Day or down to Corning?
You know, I'm just one guy in a team of a leadership team at Fastbreak, so I don't hit every store, but together cumulatively we do. In the winter, it gets tough, as anybody who lives in Klamath Falls knows. We don't have spaceships; we drive. And we fuel our vehicles with the same fuel you do, hopefully at our stores. But it's a struggle. But if you knew the personalities of some of those people that work in our stores and are part of our team, it's actually a lot of fun to get out there and work with them. And honestly, we don't get to see them enough because there is 29 sites. But we have some great leadership team members out in the field as well. We call them area managers that are just knocking it out of the park and touching base with their people. So we don't get to get there as much as we want to, but we are spread out. But during hunting seasons, it's nice because, as many people in Klamath know, we hunt the eastern side a lot, and in between here in the Rogue Valley, and we can almost find a site no matter where you're hunting. So That's a big favorite of mine, of course.
Very, very cool. All right, so guys, we're going to be asking your questions live during the show. If you've got some, get those in the comments below. We're monitoring the show and seeing your comments, so get those in. Somebody is actually going to win one of these Payday Rewards cards, and we're actually going to talk more about the rewards cards, how that all works here in just a few minutes. But somebody will win one loaded with $25 they can spend at your store.
Absolutely, on anything.
All right. Anything, he says. Anything. I'll hold you to that.
Okay.
All right. Guys, we're going to be right back after this break.
Fuel, refreshment, convenience, community, rewards. Fastbreak convenience stores with 7 basin locations at Madison Chevron, Homedale Fastbreak, Merrill Mobile, 97 Chevron, McDowell Fuel Good, Washburn Chevron, and Blythe Fuel Good. Fastbreak, convenience, community, service.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
And move over. When you see lights,
vests,
Or reflectors.
please give us some room. Slow down and move over.
when you need us.
We've got your back.
Do you have ours?
You got our back?
You got ours? You got our back? Please, slow down.
And move over.
You can have your car taken to the shop of your choice. So my friend had her car taken to Excel Auto Body because she heard about their reputation for excellent work. They even gave her a written warranty that's good for as long as she owns that car. So Excel Auto Body is a very smart choice.
Hi, I'm Rourke, owner of Excel Auto Body. No matter if the damage is minor or major, you'll want to choose us now. So if you are ever in an accident, you'll be ready. And remember, it's your choice what body shop you go to. Choose Excel Auto Body. It's your car, our reputation.
Hello, friends. Brian Gailey here. Klamath Falls News. Welcome back to Ask Klamath, presented by Fastbreak. And today we're joined by Fastbreak. Josh White here is talking with us, answering questions about the company, answering your questions that you may have. We've already got a couple of great ones. We're going to get to those in just a little bit before we get some other ones first. But I do want to give a shout out to our section sponsor here. You can see the logo in the corner there, that way. There it is. CrossFit APE, located at 105 North Spring Street. CrossFit APE offers a core strength and conditioning program built on consistently varied functional movements executed at high intensity. Learn more at crossfitape.blogspot.com. CrossFit APE, evolve your lifestyle. Josh, we got some more questions. Are you ready?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. So, employment is actually really good, right? Our unemployment rate, if you look at some of the statewide rates, they're really low right now. I know a lot of businesses are still hiring. There's still a need out there. Do you guys, are you constantly hiring? What's the status there?
That's my favorite subject, actually, is our people. And I think any business owner, at least successful ones, would tell you that you're always looking for great people. Whether you have a spot that you know is open or not, great people is something you're never going to turn away. So, absolutely.
And what positions are you possibly looking for?
I don't know that they're a position that we're not looking for. Fuelers, cashiers, assistant managers, store managers, and on up from there to our services department to in our leadership team. You never know when there's going to be an availability or position available, and sometimes it's just getting lucky and finding the right person that you know will fit your culture and your team, and you put them in that spot.
So, speaking of that, and actually off camera a while back, we were actually chatting about store managers.
Right.
Do you still kind of rotate store managers to help grow certain stores that may not be doing as well? The good managers come in, help you out, and get things on track?
Well, it really depends on the area, the community, or the set of stores. Sometimes we have a store, there's only one in a community, so that's not possible. But Klamath Falls, for instance, we always move people around. It's more so for the development of the people that work in the store than it is just the manager, because sometimes you may know live in the same house for 20 years. It gets a little stale and you want to change that up, and we like to keep our team members and our leaders on their toes, and we will move them around because every person has a knack or a skill that's a little bit different than others, and we like to share that with everybody, including our team members. And you never know when that perfect person will develop that person that hasn't been in that store just because there's a connection. So we absolutely do utilize that on a case-by-case basis.
Awesome. So if somebody is looking for a job,
right,
what is the minimum age of somebody you can have working for you?
Well, technically the minimum age is 16. But 16 and 17-year-olds do have some specific things they can and can't do. So those positions, there are not a lot of them, but we certainly do hire those. We certainly have some people in our company now that are below 18. But naturally, for the nature of business, most of the employees are at that 18 years of age or older.
So 18 or older, with a few select positions.
Right.
Okay. What do you offer to your employees that it would be different than somewhere else? Whether it be wages, benefits, perks. What do you
Sure.
guys have to offer?
Well, ultimately, our goal is to offer a fun place to work, and obviously, different conditions can cause that to be more fun on some days than others. But we like to have an inclusive. We like input from our team members, and that's not always possible in every company. And that's not because the company's doing it wrong. It's just not as possible. But we are I like to consider more of a family company, and we do get input. Some of our greatest ideas have come from our team members in the field. Even payday was brainstormed by some of our now store managers who weren't necessarily store managers at the time. We do have benefits. We're extremely competitive in the wage market. I would say that we probably, on average, pay more than the average convenience store chain. But I can't say that to be sure because I don't know every convenience store.
Right.
Just in my experience locally, that seems to be the case. And again, we have lots of room for advancement. Some of our greatest team members.
Which actually was my next question: is if somebody were to start as an entry level position, whether it be cashier, fuel attendant, or something like that, is there advancement? Can people move up? What options would be there?
Absolutely. So again, I'm going to use Klamath Falls as an option because we're here, or as an example. We have a manager at Madison right now that started out as a fueler in Bly. Then obviously learned the cashier and really became a phenomenal customer service representative. Was an assistant manager at our North Entrance 97 and has been a store manager at Washburn and Madison. Kind of, you said we move people around. We have other managers here in town that started as cashiers for stores that we took over. Our manager at 97 was a cashier at Homedale, what used to be Country Villa. And in the year that she's worked for us, has moved from cashier to assistant manager to store manager. And we're really looking forward to great things from her. And then what I call my golden gooses, the ones that really helped me get things started here in Klamath Falls, were folks that started out as fuelers and cashiers in the industry. So your best team members come that way. We have a store manager in Red Bluff who went through our assistant manager training program and just excelled and is running the store down in Red Bluff, which is a very busy store. So shout out to Michelle and Red Bluff, by the way. So we're just we get our best growth from within the company, within the team members, because there's a culture you want to build that revolves around customer service and a dedication to be successful. And it's a lot easier to develop that from your own people because they already understand that. So absolutely, we have people in our office that started at the stores that are helping us on a leadership level. So lots of opportunities. That's where we like to get it from. And it's a great proving ground because if you can help customers out on the fuel island or the register when it's packed and it's busy, I would argue that you can do anything. And so we're really proud of those people that have really taken the initiative and made that a success with themselves. And it's really, that's what it's down to with Fastbreak. If you want to be better and do more, the opportunity's there.
The opportunity's there. So it sounds almost like a coaching up kind of situation where you're helping people grow and be better at what they do. Do you experience a lot of turnover in your organization where people may not be able to make that fit?
Sure. I would tell you that the convenience store industry has one of the highest turnovers in the country, and we are drastically lower than that. But it's still not a number that we're ever happy with, because if you're in debt $10 million, just because you're only in debt $5 million doesn't mean that you're doing a great job. So I would say that we're always striving to improve that, but we are by far better than the industry average. And but we also accept that because it's also a job for people that are going to college or that are on summer break, or our business has increased so much that we just want those seasonal people and they come and say, hey, can I work 3 months? Or it's a transition job into something else. And what I always tell my people is, I'm okay if you're leaving as long as it's to do something bigger and better. If you're going to do the same thing for somebody else, I failed, and I want to know what that is. So if we're helping people move up onto bigger and better things, and within our company or within our community, we feel it's a success.
Okay.
We've had somebody in our assistant manager program who now has promoted up to his second level job in a bulk plant within the family of companies. So
cool.
Lots of ways to win that count as turnover, but looking at the industry standards, we are definitely above the trend.
Well, that's good to know. That's good. That's good news for the company as a whole.
Right.
Being on the positive side of whatever industry average would be.
We have store employees that have worked for us for 15 years, which is unheard of in the convenience store industry.
And you know, when as a consumer that goes and frequents your stores, and I travel a lot and I visit a lot of places, being able to find familiar faces and having those same people that can recognize myself, and not because of the position here, but because I frequent the store,
Sure.
And be able to get you by name, that means something too. As a consumer, that's awesome.
We have people that have taken a vacation. We've gotten numerous phone calls. Did this person go away? No, he's earned a vacation or she's earned a vacation. I promise you they're coming back. And we love those stories because it means that we have people that are really touching their community and really hitting it in the customer service realm too. Because if they're not giving great customer service, nobody cares if you're there.
Well, speaking of great customer service, is it okay to tip your fuel attendant?
You know what? It is. We have somebody pretty famous in our company. Actually, two of them. Julius, who works out in Merrill now, has worked everywhere in Klamath, and Henio, who works at Madison. And I would tell you that I personally have a hard time watching them because they're so good, and I'm just waiting to see if they get that tip. If they earn it, absolutely. And there's no standard for that. But we certainly aren't going to not allow our team members who knock it out of the park and the customers want to. I would tell you both with Julius and Henio, and there's lots of them out there, but they're kind of the rock stars here locally. If you've gone to those stores, you know who those two people are. I don't have to describe them. Those who go to Merrill know who Julius is. Those who go to Madison know who Henio is. And those are the type of people that we try to tap to help develop others. But I've walked up and seen Julius up on a lifted truck on the tire cleaning a windshield that probably would take a spackle knife to do, but he made it happen. And you're going to let those people receive those awards because they've done it, and they're rock stars in our book at least.
Awesome, that's good to hear. So there's not really a standard of how much is a quality tip or anything.
There's not, and I would tell you if you give, and I'm going to use those two people example. If you give them $1, they're ecstatic. I've seen people actually almost a year ago to the day. Just happen to be witnessing one of those individuals, and they get a $100 bill, and I'm floored.
Wow.
But when you know their personality, it's not a shock, and they don't ask for it. Their personality is just it's magnetic. People want to go there. We've had people move from store depending on where one of those guys went. And what'd you do with him when he was there? Well, I'm going there from now on. And again, honestly, that's what we want to see in our people, because it means that they're actually making a connection in their community or in their specific store with their customers.
Sounds like that would make a great person to train all the new ones that come along.
We do that. We share. There's no specific training role in our company. If your light's out in something, if you're great at it, we're going to tap that to help other people, because ultimately the goal is to have that culture within the whole company.
Way cool. That is awesome to hear. Would you say that more people don't tip than do tip, maybe?
I think that's the nature.
It's kind of hard when you're paying with a card and you don't have cash with you.
Right. And I think you will find, especially with those two people, it makes no difference in the customer service they provide. But I kind of like it that way. I mean, if you go the extra mile and that happens, that's great. But if it's not me personally, then that's understandable. Coming from a guy who in college who was a waiter a few times, it serves as a signal to me. And honestly, the fueler's not the waiter. It's a different industry, and I don't think any of our people expect it. Mm-hmm. But it sure is nice to see the look on their face when it happens.
Awfully appreciated.
Right. And there's times where we see customer service that's out of this world, and we reward it internally with our own way of tipping those people. So don't ever be afraid to share that story, because we will definitely take over the tipping part of it when they do knock it out of the park.
Well, very good. Well, guys, get your questions in. Now's a great time, because we're going to take a break here in just a moment. We're taking your questions for Josh here at Fastbreak. We've also got Michael off camera here. If Josh doesn't have the answer, Michael probably does. And again, somebody will win a $25 card, payday rewards card loaded by these guys here at Fastbreak that you can spend, as Josh said, on anything in the store. Guys, we're going to be right back. Get your questions in for Josh and Fastbreak.
Fuel, refreshment, convenience, community, rewards. Fastbreak convenience stores with 7 basin locations at Madison Chevron, Homedale Fastbreak, Merrill Mobile, 97 Chevron, McDowell Fuel Good, Washburn Chevron, and Blythe Fuel Good. Fastbreak. Convenience, community, service.
Slow down
Slow down and move over.
and move over. When you see lights,
Vests.
Or reflectors.
Please, give us some room. Slow down and move over.
when you need us.
We've got your back.
Do you have ours?
You got our back?
You got ours? You got our back? Please, slow down.
And move over.
You can have your car taken to the shop of your choice. So my friend had her car taken to Excel Auto Body because she heard about their reputation for excellent work. They even gave her a written warranty that's good for as long as she owns that car. So Excel Auto Body is a very smart choice.
Hi, I'm Rourke, owner of Excel Auto Body. No matter if the damage is minor or major, you'll want to choose us now. So if you are ever in an accident, you'll be ready. And remember, it's your choice what body shop you go to. Choose Excel Auto Body. It's your car, our reputation.
For Brew Nation, that chocolate walk, because I've already forgot it.
All right, guys, we're back. We're live. It's Ask Klamath, presented by Fastbreak, and we have Josh and Michael from Fastbreak in the studio today. He actually, it was just, you probably heard it just there. If he doesn't remember what the check was, we're actually going to be talking about that in just a moment. This section is actually talking about some of the charitable things that Fastbreak does and some questions involving that. Sure. But before we get there, I do want to let you know that this section is brought to you by the Klamath County Fairgrounds. Great things are happening this weekend. Christmas is just around the corner, and the Fairgrounds is going to be hopping this weekend with stuff. The Jefferson State Shooting Association's gun show, as well as the Quota Christmas Bazaar, excuse me, are both happening this weekend. Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, Racing in the Basin also returns, and be sure to look out for that big tent there at the Fairgrounds. Lamb's Christmas tree lot is open now through December 20th. Shop early for the best selection. They got a lot of things going on, and if you would like to see what the Fairgrounds can do for you, visit kcfairgrounds.org, where you can also see the full event list of what's going on. So, Josh, you ready for some more questions?
Sure, but it sounds like I know where I'm going to be this weekend.
Yeah.
At the fairgrounds.
The fairgrounds, they got it all going on. So one of the sections, you guys are huge into charity and the things and donations and things like that. And one of the things that you guys have is called Brew Nation.
Right.
Can you explain that and what it does?
Sure. So community service and donating our time and whatever funds we can is a huge passion with a lot of our leadership team. And it's not one person, but it is a group effort that we decided several years ago to make a passion in our company. And one of the newest things we've done, and it just started, is Brew Nation, and that is our coffee brand. And our coffee brand just means when you come into our store, that's what's going to be on our cup. And the cup actually has the message. 5% of all proceeds of every cup of coffee sold is going to be donated to local veterans charities. Now, what are those charities? That could be, like this year, Disabled American Veterans here in Klamath Falls. The good and the bad of that story is that there's a lot of veterans charities out there that need a lot of support. And so we're looking forward to seeing what the next one will be that we support. But we also wouldn't be doing that program without the partnership of another local company, which would be Quail Mountain, who's owned by the Klamath Pepsi Bottling Company. And so they partnered with us, and a great partnership. Obviously in our stores we sell their product, but they partner for that community involvement, and we can't wait to see what the donation is going to be next year, because this year it wasn't a full year, it was only a few months. And so it wasn't the check amount we figure we're going to see next year after 12 months of coffee sales.
Now, Damien, did we have a copy of that photo in there? There it is.
There it is.
So just recently at the chocolate walk that was held Small Business Saturday, it says 2,701 and some change. How long did it take to raise that?
So that was it 6 months? 6 months to raise that, and that was before we'd even advertised the program. So this is actually the first time we're really shouting out the Brew Nation program. So really kind of like a soft opening when you open a store. We just kind of put it out there to make sure we have the cups, the lids, everything we needed, that the graphics were right, and that we could make it work. And so 2019 is actually our first full year of this program, and we're excited to do it. And the picture you saw was Oliver, one of our team members there in our office, presented at the Chocolate Walk. We've gotten great feedback on that, and a lot of people didn't know, and that's on us. Like I said, it was a soft opening, but 2019 we're going full bore into that and hoping to donate a lot more to
So
veteran
that's
charities.
5% of every coffee sold, right?
Yep.
All right.
Yep, and half of that 5% is provided by Pepsi at Klamath Falls. A great partnership.
They're matching you guys on that
Yep.
one. Awesome. So a few months ago, you guys did a campaign. I believe it was Special Olympics
Yes,
that you guys worked
one
with.
of my favorites.
What can you explain the purpose of that? You guys had little papers
You could
that
buy
you
a
could put
medal.
your name.
Yeah, paper
and
medal.
Can you talk a little bit about that and what happened with that?
So that's a personal passion of mine. I've been involved with another great local organization, the Klamath Falls Moose Lodge. Lodge 1106, if you ever need something to do, go to the Moose Lodge there. But they've kind of had that passion for 11 years now. They've put their heart, soul, sweat, blood, and tears into that program. And it was really just a pleasure to team up with them. And what we did is we sold the paper medals in the stores for 1 month and asked customers to join us in donating. And as a company, we were able...
There's some of them right there.
Yeah. Yep. That's in John Day, Oregon, actually. And that's an amazing community that really, really rocked that program. And we reward the top stores that donate to that. And John Day was the #1 store in our company. Homedale was another one of the top 5. Klamath Falls always comes in strong. But we partnered with the Klamath Falls Moose Lodge, and in 1 month, plus a 3-day event at the lodge, we were able to donate, in, again, partnership with the Moose Lodge, $23,000 to local Special Olympians. I try not to tear up because I work with those kids at that weekend event every year, and I'm just seeing their faces right now. And with the trouble that Special Olympics went through this last year, we refuse to let our Olympians be left behind. And we have Olympians that went to the national championship for basketball this year. Just a great group of people. And honestly, behind those kids are parents and volunteers with that program. And the Moose Lodge does a lot of coaching, and they do that event, bring people from all over the state and some from out of the state to donate to that cause. And $23,000 is just hard to comprehend. When the first year they did, I think it was $250. So our team members out in the store, though, and I kind of told you this earlier, the best part of my job is the team members in the stores and the communities we serve. Even though all the bad publicity was out there about the troubles that Special Olympians were going through, our customers showed up and our team members knocked it out of the park. And our portion of the check to them, not including the volunteerism that the Moose Lodge did, was over $12,000 of that $23,000 in 1 month. And it's kind of unheard of until you look at our other donations and community involvement drives we've done. But our team members and communities, I think, are the best in the world. And obviously I'm biased, but the people that show up and frequent our sites and support those programs are the greatest.
I'm going to assume that most of those donations are probably under $5 per person. That's a lot of donations from a lot of different people, and that is awesome.
I would tell you that we have team members that could sell ice to an Eskimo. I mean, it's but the other great part of it is we have programs like that where we have team members who have benefited, either them personally or their family members, and it's really hard to get more passionate people than when they've benefited from a program that we're supporting.
So, do you have any charitable organizations that you're working with that are be coming up soon?
Well, we have an annual one every December. It's the Ronald McDonald Heart Charities, and that will be the entire month of December. You can buy a heart, just like the Special Olympics. And last year, that was actually our greatest fundraiser ever. It was $12,206. I might be off by $1 or $2. Don't hold me to that. In 1 month. And we were able to go tour the Bend Ronald McDonald House. And there's 3 Ronald McDonald houses in Oregon right now. They're working on more. There's 2 up in the Portland area and 1 in Bend. And we were able to do some research, and we found out that over 500 families in the communities we serve, zip codes we served, have benefited from Ronald McDonald House. And we went and toured, and Michael here, who's in studio, went with us, and our 2 #1 store managers for last year, who in those 2 stores did, I believe, 35% of the entire funding for the company. Just a shout out to them to their passion. Ron Walker, who runs our Washburn store, and Rhonda Nichols, who runs our Homedale store, went and toured with us. And it's heart-wrenching, and it's also exciting to see what they do for those families. Ronald McDonald House, you go there, if you have a sick child, you pay for nothing. food, room board. It's a really nice facility, entertainment for your kids, and we just couldn't help but get behind it. And I don't know if you've noticed the theme, but when it comes to veterans and kids, that's generally what we focus on, and it was exciting. So December 1, please go to our stores, buy a heart for Ronald McDonald House. We would appreciate it. I know they appreciate it. It's a great cause and something we're really passionate about.
Very good. Well, thank you. I think it's just amazing that so many people can be involved and do what seems like little, $1 here, $2 there, maybe round up the change kind of situation, or throw the extra change in their pocket in a container there on the counter, and it turns into $12,000. That just blows my mind.
It honestly blew our mind. We kind of get choked up about it, thinking about the faces of the people when we present a check and they're hoping for $1,000 or $2,000, and then we show up with this giant check, and the look on their face makes it all worth it.
Awesome.
And you can go on our Facebook page, Fastbreak, or myfastbreak.com. You can see the pictures from the presentation, but I would struggle to or challenge any local company to get out there, because it's worth every bit of effort we've done for community involvement, and it's really something we hang our hat on.
Very cool. So I do know we have some questions involving your charities and things like that. We're actually going to get to those questions in a little bit. We got a couple more things we want to do before we get there. One of those involves this payday rewards card, your reward system.
Yes.
Can you explain what is the payday reward system? What is that?
First of all, for those in the leadership team, it's at least a lot of us, it's like a child to us. Well, we took it from nothing to full fruition, what I think's one of the most dynamic rewards programs in the country. I just wish we could share it with more of the country, but we're just a local company. But so payday rewards, so it's free. You sign up, it costs you nothing. And every time you go into the store, and I'm going to make this caveat, we're looking at changing it every year to spice it up and keep it different. So what I tell you now may change in the beginning of next year. But right now, anytime you go to our store, and if you have that payday rewards card, every gallon of fuel you purchase, you get 5 cents on that card that you can spend on anything in the store. When you walk in the store and you buy a candy bar, for every $1 you spend, you get 3 cents on that. So for some of our customers, another shout out to Spencer that frequents our 97 store. He's one of our great customers. He's seen some huge rewards with that, and it's almost become competitive with some of our customers. How much can we get on there, and what are we going to purchase with it? So it's a great program that rewards you, and then we do giveaways. We just sent a couple of customers to the Civil War game. Partnered with Dr. Pepper for that. Super exciting. We've given away mountain bikes. Honestly, it's the best way to get deals in our store, and we're not. One thing I want to make sure everybody knows, we are not keeping your information to share it with anyone. We have zero desire to do that. It's honestly best so you can track your rewards, and then we're hoping in the future one of those changes we talked about to be rewarding people maybe on days like their payday anniversary or their birthday. We don't know where that's going, but that's what it's for. We could care less. Honestly, if you put your name as Mickey Mouse on that card, it wouldn't change our opinion or how we use it at all.
Okay. But going to that, some of the things that you do offer, though, is buying, 7 of one item and you get the 8th free, right?
So great point. We have special items, and you can go on My Payday Rewards or myfastbreak.com and see some of our what we call clubs. And you can buy so many hot dogs, get one free. And honestly, that's just a thank you. If you're coming into our store and you're always buying that one special thing, I know Bang's a popular one right now, or any item, and it's one of our items of choice, our thank you to you is, hey, we're going to give you one free. And we're not raising the price on that to compensate. We keep pretty competitive on the pricing in the convenience store industry. It's just a thank you for choosing us over anyone else.
Now, if somebody wanted to cash in those points, 5 cents per gallon, $3 for every $1 in the store, you said, what can they buy with it?
So if you walk into our store and it's within our 4 walls, you can buy it. If it's our fuel out at our pumps, we do have some card lock for businesses that wouldn't apply to, but most of our customers are our gas customers. You can purchase gas with it as well. There's nothing in our stores that you can't purchase it with it. Otherwise, it becomes so hard to track. What can I can't. We want to make it easy. We want it to be a thank you to our customers for choosing us. And that was the big deal with tracking information. The payday program is really just a thank you and a way for us to tell what do our customers want. We don't know who's buying it, but we know, hey, this customer always comes in for this particular item. Maybe we ought to give them one free every once in a while for that. So it's our way of saying thank you for choosing us. We like our communities, and we want to appreciate them as well.
Now, those points that are earned by spending money, do they ever expire?
So the only way your points expire is if you do not use your phone number or your card for a year. That doesn't mean you have to spend it. It just means if there's no activity on your card or phone number for a year, then they will go away. But I'm hard-pressed to not need gas for a year. I wish that was the case, but that's all it takes. Is
Okay.
just use it once within a 12-month period for any way, whether it's purchasing something or using the points.
All right. Good things to know. I actually have that same thing. I use it all the time, and I'm constantly getting reminded at the store, oh, you got $5 or you got
Right.
$7. And I'm like, oh, okay,
adds
well, I'll
up
get it
fast.
next time. But then I forget to, they always remind me to swipe it.
Yep.
But I always forget to spend it, so it just kind of keeps growing.
Well,
and then one day I'll walk in there and the whole family gets drinks or something like that
Yeah.
because I remember I have it. So
And if they overhear how much you have, I get that with my kids too. Hey, Dad, do you want to buy me this? You have the points. But
Right.
The challenge I would have to our customers is find somebody in the market that rewards you more, because we do a pretty good study, and I don't think anybody does. We kind of looked at the market and said we're gonna have be a better thank you than anybody else. So we challenge you to find someone who rewards more frequently and better than we do.
Well, speaking of which, somebody that's going to ask a question today is going to get a payday card that we're talking about, loaded with $25 they could spend on food, fuel, hot dogs,
Anything,
sodas,
yeah.
whatever you want to do, right? So that will be available. And guys, right now is a great time to get your questions in because we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to ask your questions
Great.
to Josh and Mike from Fastbreak.
Fuel, refreshment, convenience, community, rewards. Fastbreak convenience stores with 7 basin locations at Madison Chevron, Homedale Fastbreak, Merrill Mobile, 97 Chevron, McDowell Fuel Good, Washburn Chevron, and Bly Fuel Good. Fastbreak, convenience, community, service.
Slow down
Slow down and move over.
and move over. When you see lights,
Vests,
Or reflectors.
please give us some room. Slow down and move over.
when you need us,
We've got your back.
Do you have ours?
You got our back?
you got ours. You got our back. Please, slow down.
And move over.
You can have your car taken to the shop of your choice. So my friend had her car taken to Excel Auto Body because she heard about their reputation for excellent work. They even gave her a written warranty that's good for as long as she owns that car. So Excel Auto Body is a very smart choice.
Hi, I'm Rourke, owner of Excel Auto Body. No matter if the damage is minor or major, you'll want to choose us now. So if you are ever in an accident, you'll be ready. And remember, it's your choice what body shop you go to. Choose Excel Auto Body. It's your car, our reputation.
Hi, friends. Brian Gailey here. You're watching Ask Klamath, presented by Fastbreak. We're joined by Fastbreak today. We got Josh over here. We got Mike over there off camera. There's a lot of good stuff that we're talking about, and I know we just hit the tip of the iceberg on some of the charitable stuff that you guys do. So I'm going to actually have you talk about some of those that we didn't hit here in just a moment. But before we do, this section is actually brought to you by Shasta Family Dental. Dr. Mindy Brown has created a team of individuals that hold high value in family, community, honesty, integrity, and compassion. They provide quality, compassionate dental care through trust and respect of their patients. They care for you and the community. Shasta Family Dental is located across from the City Police Department on Shasta Way. You can learn more about them at shastafamilydental.com or give them a call, 541-884-5474. And Dr. Brown has created a team that's, as I just said, is family, community, honesty, integrity, compassion. All season long, everybody we have talked to seems to fit that bill, and it kind of seems like your guys do as well.
You have a great group of sponsors on your show, and glad to be part of it.
Well, we couldn't do it without them. We thank our sponsors very, very much. So this is the point in time which we call the soapbox. We come back from our commercial break there, and it's an opportunity to chat about what's on your mind, Josh. What you wanted to talk a little bit more about the charitable stuff that you guys do. What's on your mind?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that we want people to know that they're not giving their dollar when they're coming to our sites to somebody way far away somewhere else. And we have a lot of local businesses here in town, so I'm not saying they all are by any stretch of the imagination, but we are aggressively involved in a lot of things in our community. Huge donations over the last 3 years of time and monies to start making a Reader Today program. That is a phenomenal program in our community that we're really proud to partner with. Volunteer of the Year happens to be the guy sitting in our studio over here with the SMART program. Couldn't be more proud to have a team member that got that great honor. I know he was proud of it, but that took a lot of hard work. And so that's a program, I want to say somewhere in the $18,000 range we've donated to. Don't hold me to the dollar, obviously. We talked about Ronald McDonald, we talked about Special Olympics, Muscular Dystrophy Association. We just recently, our director of operations and our winner for that store for the monthly drive went to the Mike Bellotti Gala to donate their check of over $9,000
Nice.
to muscular dystrophy. And we've had managers and my wife that went and volunteered at the camp for MDA because it's such a great cause. So it's not something we just write a check to. It's something we're passionate about, and we want people to know that those dollars really do make a difference. In Lakeview, we've been involved with Youth Mentor, in Burns with the Senior Center, with art programs in Christmas Valley, a community that doesn't have a lot of companies to be involved with. So much that I honestly, youth sports here in town, I can't name them all, but know that that money's not just going into our pockets or to someone who doesn't live in the community. It's going to our community programs. Our CFO is involved in youth baseball, and we're part of that. There's really just a lot of team members in our company that really donate, and it's socks for the homeless, to jackets, to Toys for Tots. I mean, we're always looking for the next thing that we can help the community, because we have not lost sight of the fact that it's our communities that make us happen, and we're really passionate about that. And it's not just that you come and shop at our store, but our communities are our team members, and we call them team members because we really try to be that team. And nobody's perfect. We're going to make mistakes, but we're going to try to get better every day at it. And community service is one way we don't feel we can ever get it wrong. If we're donating our time, our effort, and our funds, and allowing our communities to support us in that, how could it be wrong? So we're really proud of that. Something we hang our hat on, because we think we may not do it as good as everyone, but we try just as much or more than anyone. So a big thing, you'll see it in our stores. I know sometimes people get annoyed about being asked, but just understand that that's because our team members have that same passion we do to really go out and support people. And they're not just asking you. A lot of times those people asking are the ones going and volunteering to help those organizations. And we take zero funds from that. I would say all of our campaigns cost us money because we donate funds as well. But things like the Special Olympic medals, we paid for that image and that paper to go out there because we wanted no expense to the donation. So we don't say, hey, we're taking 10% off the top. We say, hey, we're taking 0%. And we're passionate about that, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And that comes from our director of operations and our ownership down. It's about the community. It is not about getting a percentage of that for expenses.
That's pretty cool, because a lot of places, they're not able to do that. If they're doing a fundraiser and they make $10,000, but it took $1,000 to make the 10, they're going to take the $1,000 off the top to pay their expenses, and $9 is what the donation becomes. So it's really cool to hear that you guys are kind of eating the cost on putting that together. And I guess kind of the 30 seconds or so that the employee is asking you is kind of time that the employee is giving as well, right? That you're giving off their time, right? And you add that up, that turns into a lot of time as well that may not necessarily be productive to stocking shelves or cashier.
Well, you've shopped our stores. If we're not doing a donation, we're offering you something at that checkout, right? And so we're actually saying we're not going to upsell, we're not going to add an item to that transaction, we're going to get this donation. And then we reward our top performers, and that all comes straight out of our fund. So our challenge isn't if it costs $1,000, what are we taking off? Our challenge is always, okay, it cost us $1,000. What percentage are we going to exponentially increase that to make it worthwhile? If we spend $1,000 and only made $1,000, that's a loss for us, and we've never done that. But it's a challenge to us. If it's going to cost us $2,000 to make this drive happen, how big of a donation can we get off that? So yeah, no money comes back to us. We think that there's a integrity issue in that, and I'm not saying we're right in feeling that way, but we want the people to know if you're donating $1, you're donating $1. and we're donating on top of that. Not that we're taking some of that, because you don't want to give $1. You don't want to give 10 cents to me and 90 cents to Special Olympics. You want to give $1 to Special Olympics. We appreciate that. We respect that, and that's our stance. No questions asked.
Very cool. And I know a lot of things you guys are involved with, but I'm actually going to give a quick shout out as well. The blanket drive is actually happening right now. It's teamed up with Pacific Power, and it's going to help people that are affected with CLAS, Klamath Lake Community Action Services. They're doing a blanket drive. Drop-off sites are include the Klamath County Chamber, the Pacific Power offices, and there's a couple others. The information is actually on our website. If you go to klamathfallsnews.org, you can actually find that information there. That's a really cool one there too, helping people stay warm when what was it, 70%, I believe it is. Don't quote me on the number.
Right, it's crazy number.
70% of the homes struggle with some sort of heat here in the Klamath Basin. Whether it's an old house with drafty windows and no insulation, or one heat source, or something like that. If the electric goes out and that's their only heat, then that could be an issue. So
we have a lot of older homes that are beautiful, but the insulation's not there, and we have a lot of kids in those homes. And so I can't stress enough, if you can donate to that cause. It's not a Fastbreak cause, but it's definitely one we believe in, and I personally support. My wife's really big into that. So yeah, if you can, please donate to that.
Very good. Any other charities that you want to give a shout out to?
Man, I have such a list, and I know I'm forgetting a bunch. I apologize to the charities out there, but I think we covered a lot of them.
It is charity season, so.
It is, and it's a great one for the Ronald McDonald House. Just a reminder, starting December 1st, buy a heart and be part of changing lives of children and their families throughout Oregon. And it all stayed in Oregon, by the way. We don't give it out of state.
Awesome.
Our California does go to California, just for that caveat.
Oh, very good. So it is locals helping locals.
Right.
That's a good way to put it.
That's a great way to put it. Thank
you.
So
we're going to take a look at some of the live questions that we have here, starting at the top, some of the earliest. Todd Andrus, you've got actually a couple of questions in here. And shout out to you, Todd, because you're the one that turned me on to the blanket drive. How did Fastbreak get its name?
That's a crazy story. I can't. It's kind of like what happened to Jimmy Hoffa. I can't get a down to one certain incident, but definitely a company that enjoys sports. Have lots of volunteers who coach sports, and one of those sports that we're heavy into is basketball. So we kind of figured out that's kind of where it originated. But at the same time, it has a double meaning. I mean, when you go to a convenience store, you want it to be fast. It's a break. Use the restroom, buy a snack, get some fuel. So it kind of just worked, and so we ran with it.
Very good. Rhonda Nichols says, I know they do a number of things for the community. Can you tell us more? Rhonda, we kind of just went into a lot of all that.
Well, it's funny because Rhonda was, we mentioned her as being one of our, she's a winner. If you want to win a charity contest in our company, you better have your sights on Rhonda, Ron, Marie in Lakeview, John Day, because can't forget Enid and Corning. Enid, we love you. You do a great job for donations. Your team with you there in Corning is awesome. You better pack your bags because they're going to bring it, and Rhonda's one of those. So I'm not surprised she brought that up, and I probably forgot one. Sorry, Rhonda.
My wife asks a great question. Sometimes she sees fuel attendants topping up vehicles. Is at stations, not necessarily your stations, but stations in general. That's squeezing as much out, not stopping at the first click, right? Is that still illegal in the state of Oregon?
It is illegal, but there is a caveat to that. And the caveat I'll give you is with all these new vehicles coming out and the different ways that have to be fueled, and like diesels with DEF, it's a struggle because sometimes you have people that you fill up at clicks, you stop, and they only got half or three-quarters of a tank. And sometimes when that happens, that's why. It's because they want to follow that law. And sometimes you have to let it click 3 times. Like in my vehicle, for some reason, it will not fill up unless you break that click. And if you stop at the first click, I'm half full. So if you see that, a lot of times that's the reason why. It's an old habit. I mean, everybody used to do that. And there's safety reasons why we don't want to do that. But understand, if you see that, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're topping off. It might be that that type of vehicle just happens to be hard to do that with.
Okay. Todd has a second question, and this involves the kind of the expansion that Fastbreak has had. What do you look at when picking a new location?
So a lot of times our locations fall in our lap, and other times we go looking. But I'm going to give you the best example situation. Traffic flow is always a big one. Are you somewhere where customers are going to be going by to go into? Is it feasible? Is it affordable? Is it going to work egress and degress out of the location? And then sometimes, and this is one of the greatest things of what I'm most proud of working in this company, sometimes it's just because the community needs it. And I'll give you an example of that. There was no regular gas station in Silver Lake, so we took the old repair shop, made it into a convenience store to offer some things for those customers. I don't know that any other major company would say, hey, we can afford a convenience store there, but our company in ownership knew that it would be great for the community, and we wanted to do that, and that's why that store opened. So we do it for a lot of reasons, but the big ones are traffic flow and is the location right for that business.
Okay. Getting in and out, very important too, right?
Very.
Right. I think you mentioned this name, Ron Walker.
Yep.
He's got a question that says, what's your biggest fundraiser for the communities you serve?
Well, he's probably mentioning that because he knows the answer. He happened to be the winner for that one. But that is the drive starting December 1st. I can't say it enough. Ronald McDonald House, have a heart, come into our sites, buy a heart. It goes to a great cause here in Oregon. But that would be it. And Ron and Rhonda were the winners of that one last year.
Okay. Chrissy Heitman says, great job. Comment says, great job, Klamath Falls Moose in Fastbreak.
Great partnership.
And Fastbreak, she also mentions in a separate comment that Fastbreaks helps with the Klamath Freedom Celebration as well.
We have helped with the Klamath Freedom Celebration in the past. We try to, the way I put it is, we try to touch many hearts. And so this year it might be Klamath Freedom Celebration. The next year it might be something else. Okay. So we try to share the wealth because we think they're all great causes. But I will tell you, Doug Brown and his team over there at the Klamath Freedom Celebration and Chris's Causes is doing some amazing things. I think Chrissy might be part of that.
She is. Chrissy's got her hands on a lot of different things.
Well, great people in our community always do. And I know Ryan Wheelock's part of that. Just a great group of people that do a great cause. I got to know Chris, and I think Doug's doing an amazing thing because she was a phenomenal human being, and I think it's a great cause, and we were very proud to be part of that.
Okay. Rourke Ponce is asking, and you talked about rewards there a minute ago.
Right.
And you mentioned something with business, and it perked his ears. He says, can we get more information on the business payday rewards? Did I hear that right? Can you clarify that?
I don't know if you did or didn't hear it right, but what a lot of businesses do is the owner or the main person in that company will get a payday rewards card, and they'll ask all of their employees when they're feeling up to use the number linked to that, and then all those funds go to that card. I know one company uses it to reward at Christmas time to buy gifts just off their payday rewards because everybody needs gas. Mm-hmm. So they'll go use those points to get gas cards for their employees. So you can certainly do that. We don't have a business card. Great idea. Might have to do it. But that's one way that some companies use that payday rewards card.
Okay. Chrissy's asking another question. It says, what do you find to be the most effective way to save money on fuel?
Well, from personal experience, you should always buy gas at our sites because that will definitely help. No, I'm just kidding. The biggest one, I'll be honest with you, and people think it's crazy, is keeping your tires to the right inflation. And we have that ability to inflate your tire at our sites. That's a big one. And then just making sure your car's tuned up and it's running efficiently is the best way to save on your fuel efficiency. And then make sure you go somewhere that has the additives in their fuel. We have additives in our fuel, even in our fuel good. But Chevron, Shell, Sinclair, Mobil all have great additives to get the most out of your vehicle mileage.
Cool. So going through here, Chrissy and the Klamath Falls Moose Riders are having a conversation going back and forth in the comments there. It's
another great group of people.
Kind of interesting to read those. Brandon Gillette says, Allied Automotive says hi.
Awesome.
And
thank you, Brandon.
Charla Montes, if I pronounce your name wrong, I apologize, says hi, Josh.
I do know Charla. Worked her in the past, too. Another great customer.
There you go. And Chrissy's giving us a lot of love, a lot of thumbs, a lot of hearts. She's hitting that heart button. You're going to break your computer doing all that. Chrissy, if you don't know, it works with a lot of different agencies and organizations. She just recently, Small Business Saturday, she was live with the Chamber, going around and visiting small businesses and talking about what they had to do. So she does a lot of stuff as well.
Great community member.
A lot of great questions there. Does any one of those stick out to you that might get the payday rewards card?
Wow, that was a lot of great questions. Michael?
Yeah, it's going to have to be what is the best location question.
Oh, how do you pick a location?
He had two good questions for us.
Oh, so Todd Andrews.
Todd Andrus.
Yeah.
All right, Todd, I'll reach out to you or my friend are going to get a $25 rewards card, payday rewards card. I'll get that right eventually.
Hey.
The season's almost over and I still get tongue-tied on it. $25 loaded on a payday rewards card that you can spend at this guy's store.
Can we mention which stores are? I know it's on the commercial, but just so they know which stores.
Yeah.
Are in the community.
What stores do we have locally?
In the Klamath Basin, Bly Fuel Good, and I'm starting with the outliers. McDole Fuel Good, Merrill Mobile. We have the Old Country Villa, Homedale Fastbreak. We have the Chevron on Madison near Home Depot. We have the Chevron on Washburn near Walmart, and then the Chevron out by Pilot on 97 is at the north entrance of town.
So lots of options, lots of places to choose from.
Yep, and when you travel, there's lots to choose from there too.
All right. Anything else on your mind?
No, I just appreciate the partnership with you this year, and then again, we can't say enough how much we appreciate the members of the community being such a strong part of our business. Without you, we couldn't donate to those great causes, and that's really, truly a great passion of ours. And also making more opportunities for our team members to have even better move up, greater careers, and that doesn't happen without your patronage. We appreciate it, and we will never forget that.
Awesome. Anything you want to add, Michael?
I think you guys covered it.
Michael says we
Fun
covered
to
it.
watch.
Fun to watch. We covered it, he says. Well, thank you to both of you, Josh and Michael, for being our guests today. Ask Klamath, presented by Fastbreak, and we had Fastbreak in the studio. I think that's awesome. Congrats to Todd Andrus. Todd, I'm going to reach out to you on how you can get your card. Something tells me that you're going to do something special with that. Ask Klamath is a production of Klamath Falls News. It is hosted by myself, Brian Gailey. Off camera, running the production is Damien. There he is.
Hey.
He's the one switching the cameras, monitoring the audio. Could not do this show without him. Unfortunately, I do lose him at the end of the year, so we are looking for a new Damien. We're always looking for the new people, right?
Always.
The next one that can
Always.
step up. So if you're interested in being a producer in our show, send me a message. Let me know. It's a great spot. We couldn't do it without them. If you did not catch the entire broadcast, it's great because Facebook, as soon as they're done doing their magic, you can rewatch anytime at AskKlamath.com. You can rewatch this episode and any previous episodes as well. And actually, here's another charity. Next week on our show is Jana Moore. She's kind of the head volunteer young lady with Toys for Tots here in Klamath Falls.
Amazing program.
Jana does a lot of things. She's passionate about a lot of stuff, and Toys for Tots is probably at the top of her list. Yep. I can't wait to get her on the show, and they do some great things as well. Salvation Army is another one of those that does some wonderful things as well. They got the trees in the stores with the name tags. You know, if you're in the store, your Walmart, Freddy's, grab one of those tags. Get a toy there, pick up a second toy, put one in Toys for Tots, put one in the Salvation Army bin.
We have great programs in our community.
We have great programs.
Awesome.
We have great people in our community as well.
We do. We're blessed.
We are very blessed. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it. Next week, Jana's going to be in the hot seat for Toys for Tots. On behalf of my guests, Josh and Michael, I'm Brian. We'll see you guys around the basin.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.